Look, all competitors aren't the same. So let's take a look at some of the differences that matter, just in case you're coaching some great competitors yourself, or you're training with other people. Some things will work for him and not her, and vice versa. Okay. Attitude. Everyone's attitude's going to shift. Think about what your best friends would consider you. Would they consider you to be very intense? Or are you someone that's really laid back when you're training inside the gym? So that's going to matter. That's going to matter a lot. Okay. Some competitors are real serious. Some are really convivial and funny. It matters only because that's the energy that you're going to bring into the room with your coach, right? Uh, if you're training with other people, it's also going to matter because it will present itself its own set of hurdles that you'll want to work through. If you're someone that's more lugubrious and kind of like low key and heavy, training days, maybe you enjoy running or doing your long distance work because it gives you a chance to kind of think and unload. I don't know. I'm just giving examples. But attitude is going to matter quite a bit, especially if you're a coach. Backgrounds do matter inside of training, right? They do matter inside of training. Okay. Um, it, like I put here, all of this stuff kind of goes into the background during competition and training. Okay. All this stuff goes into the background. But our background does play a big role in our behaviors oftentimes, and it's not all the time, but it does. And it isn't like the most crucial thing in the world to be aware of that correlation, but it does help. You know? We have differing body composition, somatotypes, endomorphs, ectomorphs, max heart rates, right? That's largely genetic. Okay? Metabolite metabolism rates of metabolism. Okay? Those matter. And again, if you're a coach, you're going to want to note some of those differences between your competitors so that you can adjust accordingly, right? Eating's got to be adjusted. The RPE, like if I ask you, if you think that you have, if you're kind of an endomorphic person, certain exercises like doing cardio might, your RPE might be at a 9. Or if you're lean, wiry, maybe you're a type 1 type athlete, and anything having to do with cardio is easy. We don't know, but we do want to take that into consideration so we can adjust the load. Training different is fundamental. You want to train differently. You want to learn from other people. Now I'll share a story about my friend Sergio, who taught me quite a bit about training. So I will share that Sergio is a recovering addict. I didn't know that about Sergio um, until I met him for a second time. So I ran into Sergio, luckily, in front of the boxing gym where we both used to train at. And I look at a guy that I kind of recognize as I pull up to the gym, which was closed. And it's Sergio, and we instantly kind of recognize each other. We're stunned. And he started hanging out again. And he wanted to train, he wanted to box, had a growing family. Me and Sergio start to train. We start to meet up. We start to run. We start to hold mitts for each other. Sergio was a recovering addict. It means that Sergio had some habits and he trained differently. Okay? So he would enhance his mood before training all the time, anytime he could, would also run out of his sneakers when we had to do our road work and our running. For me, I didn't do the same things that Sergio did in order to prepare himself for battle. But what we were able to get from each other was a synergy. So him enhancing his fitness, his mind, right, for training, allowed both of us to visualize our goals for the future. And it helped us game plan, because that's what we would do after we train. We would game plan. What if we saw this look inside of the gym, inside of the ring? What would we share that you can do? Tell me about your goals going forward, and why do you have those goals? All of these things helped me to where I was training Sergio better and better. Boy, man, Sergio got really, really strong. He was a lean guy, really lean, 5'10", 147, and punched extremely hard, you know? So I learned from him, and he learned from me inside of the gym. And it was because we had to kind of come together. And he learned to respect what I brought to the table and vice versa. Because his habits differed from mine, I wasn't about to retreat from it. Same thing could be said from him. You know, me not wanting to take part in all of his enhancements, it made him maybe understand that my methods were different. And we're able to find respect. And that's really what it's about when you're training with other competitors. It's about finding a mutual respect, of course, and kind of finding a synergy where you can thrive and move forward into your training forever. Because what we're looking for is success, victory, pride, family, and love, right? Inside of training. And the easier it is to find that, the better for all parties. Sergio was one of the people that taught me that as a professional. Okay? That's the story of Sergio, of two guys learning from each other. So let's talk about key terms. All right, let's move on. These are just some key terms, and I'm just going to leave this up here. I'm not going to stop and go over each term. All right. On the website, there are handouts because I add to this list. Each module and chapter has its own set of key terms that you'll need to go through anyways. I just left it as a PDF that you can download. Go to the website. You can go to even coachjohanscscs.com and you can find the handouts. If you go to courses, at the bottom where it says printables and handouts, you can find all of these key terms and the ones that exist throughout this course, right?